Hello, Texas. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining ALS Texas for a quick interview with one of our team members, Marshall Nelson. We don't always get a chance to put or give you a chance to put a face with a name. And so today you're going to be able to do that. We're going to visit with Marshall, who is our equipment program, the equipment loan program manager. Marshall, welcome. How are you doing? How's your Friday going?
Hi, Tanya. I am doing great. I'm pretty excited that it's Friday. It's always a bonus to get to Friday afternoon. But I'm tickled to be here with you and everybody else this afternoon.
Well, thanks for taking time out. I know so many times. For example, today I was at one of our multidisciplinary clinics. In case y'all don't know, we have 11 throughout the state. I was at one of our clinics in Dallas and talking to several families. And Marshall, your name came up several times. People oftentimes communicate with you, and it was all in good ways.
Oh, okay.
People oftentimes communicate with you by phone or text or email, but they don't get to see you. So I'm hoping we have a lot of people joining in with us that are able to meet you and tell us, a little bit about yourself, that why you are doing this, why you're passionate about this work.
Well, I think, as you know, and almost everyone that's part of our ALS team has some kind of personal connection to ALS in some way. My mom had ALS. In fact, this Sunday, May the 9th, is that the 9th? It'll be 18 years since she died. So it's been quite a long time ago. And through the years, I was able to do a little volunteer work, maybe contribute a little bit of money. But the opportunity came up about 2.5 years ago to go to work for the ALS Association of Texas. And it just, it was a real blessing to me. It's way more than a job. It's a mission. And I think probably all of the people in our organization feel that way. So it's really special for me to be able to do this.
Well, and that comes through in everything that you do. I know in working with you, we see it, and our families see it and feel it as well. And you mentioned, it's not a job, and you bring so much to this that our families may not have been aware of, and sharing your personal experience. But when someone reaches out to you and asks for a piece of equipment, you know the exact questions to ask to get them what they need, to make sure it's the right equipment. And it makes them feel better, because there's so many things that are changing for our families almost every day that they don't always know what to ask for. So that's really important that you are able to provide that.
Well, it's not just me. I have a lot of assistance from all of our care services people, Jennifer and Linda and Steve, everyone. They, at least pre-COVID, they spent a lot of time in the family's homes. But they know so much about asking the right questions about, what's your house look like? What's going on right now with you? And then they'll pass that information on to me. And that makes such a difference in trying to figure out what somebody needs.
Definitely. And on our town hall earlier this week, we talked about those things, how our team and our community partners are always in communication. And if we can't be in the home, some of our community partners are, and we're always communicating to each other on what we've observed and what families may need. What are some of the pieces of equipment that we are oftentimes able to loan or acquire for our families?
Well, that's the greatest question, in that, there are so many different things that we are in some way or another are able to provide. And it ranges from the little bitty things like a rollator, which is the four-wheel walker. There's a picture there on the screen. I think everybody sees those all the time. Those are great for all sorts of not just ALS patients, but all sorts of people. My mother-in-law has one, so she has a great hot pink one. But for that, from bedside commodes, small manual wheelchairs, and some pretty good sized manual wheelchairs, a shower bench for the shower, And then it goes on up to the more complex equipment, like power wheelchairs. That picture there is a really fancy tilting, rolling shower chair to roll someone into a shower. A patient lift, a Hoyer lift that helps transport somebody around the house, move them from a bed to the toilet, or a toilet to the shower, or from the bed to a power wheelchair. Those are pretty complex equipment, and but it runs, like I said, so it runs the gamut from the little bitty things to the big things. Just to kind of explain our process, I guess it's kind of threefold, really. We partner with several different medical equipment companies around the state and it's a fee-for-service process, but they pick up and deliver and store equipment for us. And the equipment that we use in this fee-for-service process, and it's a fee to us, it's not a fee to the patient, is primarily the big things: power wheelchairs, Hoyer lifts, the fancy rolling shower chairs, occasionally a hospital bed. So those are the kinds of things that the medical equipment companies work with us on those things. A second level is we've got some partners that we work with that actually do these things for us for free. And that's in a couple of areas. One is in communication devices. We work with, again, around the state, several different organizations that keep communication devices that have been donated to us. That they keep them, they clean them up, they get them ready to go, and then when someone needs one, then they will take it to the patient and get them set up, teach them how to use it. Most of these are eye gaze devices where you control the keyboard with your eyes, which is just pretty amazing technology. Another group we work with is a company called RQS, which is a respiratory company. And they have a lot of our equipment that's been donated to us, respiratory kinds of things like suction devices and cough assist devices. Same thing. They do this for us for free, and they take it to various patients. You mentioned earlier, Tanya, both of those companies in particular, the Improvability, which is one of our technology companies, Improvability and RQS are two of the companies that really do a great job of, when they go into a home, of evaluating all of the patient's needs, and will relay back to us what they think they might need that nobody else has noticed yet. So they're really, and
we kind of have developed a multidisciplinary team outside of clinic where everybody is talking and communicating.
That's exactly right. And then I guess the third way that and this has become much more prevalent since COVID last year, when we started not going to people's homes. There are lots of items that we just order from Amazon and ship it direct to the patient and their family, and that's really where the rollators and the small manual wheelchairs, portable commodes, those kinds of things. There's no telling how many of those things we order in a single year, but it's a very easy and convenient way to do it. So it has worked out very well.
And it makes such a big difference. And y'all, everyone that's watching and listening, feel free to type in some questions or comments. Give a shout out to Marshall. You now get to see a face, so when you're emailing or texting or calling, you see who you're talking to. And Marshall, you had some really good points. Some things we're able to deliver pretty quickly because of Amazon. We can get it in 2 days. Some of those bigger things may take 2 or 3 weeks, depending upon what we have in our loan closets throughout the state, because you manage everything for the whole state, all of the loan closets. So it really does vary, right?
That's correct, Tanya. And we are dependent, especially on the big pieces of equipment. We are dependent on what people have donated to us. That's where we get these power wheelchairs and Hoyer lifts and speech devices. People graciously have donated them to us. So our inventory at any particular location will vary from week to week. We try when I make a request to the equipment company to deliver something for us, we try to get it. The companies have committed to try to get it to them within a week to 10 days. That doesn't always happen, especially if it's somebody that lives in a little more rural area.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's just, geography in the state of Texas, jumps up and gets us sometimes. When someone lives out pretty far away, it takes
big state.
It's a little bigger process to try to get things to them. But I think one of our we always talk about is that we find a way to do it.
That's right. Over walls and around walls. And
I always want to do it faster than we do it, but it's not always exactly like I want it.
Well, you do a fabulous job. And look, we've got someone else here who thinks so. So a lot of us have friends and family members that have ALS. Yeah. So you've got a friend here that's grateful for what you're doing to help the community as well.
I know Dubravka really well. She's a wonderful, wonderful person, and I appreciate her putting that on there.
Thank you, Dubravka. And as we wrap up, Marshall, what would be your kind of closing message to our ALS Texas community on reaching out to you, or equipment that we may need if they are able to donate, that they have loan equipment that they're not using anymore?
Right. I would say just don't ever hesitate to contact me. My contact information is on the website. And if, there are times when it may end up, you have to leave a phone message, but I do my best to try to get back with everybody as quickly as possible. But just keep after me. I don't mind being contacted constantly. So this is what I love to do. And we'll, like I said earlier, we'll find a way to get that equipment for you.
And you always do.
Well, I hope that's the case. I'm sure there are times when it's a struggle to find some specific, and there's some things, that we just can't do. We don't have space for storage. We don't have the technology to do a few things, but in most cases, we can take care of it. If you can't find me, get a hold there. We have a whole group of care services, our mission delivery team, that I work with very closely. They'll get the info to me if you get a hold of them.
That's right. And that commitment and passion to, if it is possible, you make it happen. And I know that you take it very personally when you're not able to provide something. If we just don't have it in the loan closet, aren't able to get it to a family. But I know this has been helpful for our community. Y'all reach out to Marshall, reach out to our team. Know that we do have an equipment loan program. It's here for you. It's here for our community. Ask us if there's something that we have, and just find out. Ask if there's something that could help with something that you have. If each day could bring a new normal. And so check with us to see how we can make that a little bit easier for you. Karen, you bet. Remembering Granny Jane with love and fond memories on this Mother's Day weekend. And Karen, I'm glad that you mentioned that. We want to say happy Mother's Day to all of the moms out there who are watching. We're thinking of those who have lost moms this weekend. And we just want you to take time out to celebrate, to remember and honor, and spend some time with family. And Marshall, thanks for taking time out away from your family today.
Sure, Tanya. That Granny Jane she referred to, that's my mother. That's my sister-in-law that responded there. So see, I lined up my friends and family to make positive comments. And
well, I love that they joined in. We so appreciate all of you, and thank you all for joining in. Enjoy your rest of the Friday and your weekend.
Can I make one more point real quick? I don't know what kind of time we have. I want to make sure that the patients and families know that this is a loan program. There's absolutely no cost involved to the patient, and you can use the equipment as long as you need it.
So important. Thank you for that, Marshall. A perfect way to wrap up this interview. We so appreciate you. Thank you, everyone, for joining in, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, Marshall. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Thanks.